Some people have asked me what it's like to be a trained outsider artist, and I thought maybe I take the day and show you my process. First, I get up in the morning about 9 o'clock. I like to sleep later, but the dogs won't have it. You know, there's time for them to get their breakfast. And so we got to get up. Sometimes I just sleep in my clothes so that I can just get up and face a new day, ready to go. What we got to do today is move some firewood. So I like to, it's really cold outside, so I like to wear dual fold socks because they keep my feet warmer, and these steel-toed boots I wear. Usually the most dangerous part of cutting firewood is actually splitting the wood. But the splitter, although they're dangerous throughout the process, usually just loading up firewood isn't so bad. But you get cold and you drop a piece of wood on your foot, you like to have steel-toe boots, although whenever I do that, normally it usually hits the part that's not covered with steel. After I've fed the dogs, because they demand their food first, without question, I feed them first, because I like to have my breakfast, if I'm in the mood for it, and it always consists of the same thing, same ingredients, and that would be two packages of instant oatmeal. I don't know, I just like the instant over the homemade stuff because I guess there's just a whole lot more sugary, mapley flavoring in it. So just put your two packages in there. You want to write this down because it may come in handy later. And I don't even measure the water, you know. I just kind of put however much water in there I think I like to have that day. And I go over to the microwave, because the microwave is a wonderful invention, and I know some people don't like them in their homes because they think it causes, you know, brain damage or something. But so I have breakfast. Usually the table is in a wreck. Well, usually it is a wreck. Yesterday I was repairing a track light. The light blew up, melted the socket against the brass plate on the inside. I spent all day driving around looking for a specialty light store, and one I used to go to years ago is gone. So I went to Home Depot, and well, they had the part there, you know. So that's left over from that project. I got CDs, sound files from web projects, and so anyway, any flat surface around this place it gets filled up pretty quick. So when I need my oatmeal, I usually turn the television set on. Turn on the local news. If I get up early in the morning, you know, like at 6, which happens sometimes, and, or Fox News. I like that news network. I used to work for the news media, and all those stories about how they manipulate you and how they're liberal and all that, well, it's true. We're all people with opinions, right? Sometimes you just get a lot of people in one place with opinions, and just, you know, they just have to exercise them no matter what. So speaking of watching the news, I've got this guy on here, this scientist, that claims that they're able now, using MRIs, to read letters in the brain. So if you're looking at like the letter A, it's, you know, it knows that you're thinking the letter A. Isn't that great? I'm sure the government will put that to good use. We keep this going all day long, rather than burn oil at whatever, you know, it costs a gallon at these days. It's a big silver maple tree I had outside burning. I know that's not the best wood to burn. It burns cleanly though, it's just not very dense. So. Then the next thing I do after breakfast is I come in here and I always forget to turn that down. Turn on the machine, because you never know how many orders you'll have for paintings in the morning when you wake up. That's right. That's right. And so this machine is pretty much an antique. You know, it is about 4 years old, and I have to turn it on 3 or 4 times every day. Every time I turn it on, it'll freeze up. You'll see it freeze up. And I've bought all the commercial software applications that I know of to test the machine. Everything seems to be fine, but I've unplugged all the peripherals and started the machine, same problem. There you go. See, look at that. Isn't that wonderful? There he is. One thing I do all day is let the dogs in and out all day long. Come on, buddy, let's go. Well, my machine finally turned itself on, and as it always does eventually. And I've spent, you know, a half hour or so, like looking at email and messing around on YouTube, and so maybe now it's time to get down to the studio. Before I get down to the studio, I like to get sidetracked a number of times, and one of those sidetracks is picking up the guitar and playing something. This email came in, and every now and then Amazon, like about once a week, they have free songs you can download. So I usually have to spend some time checking that out. We said it was going to snow today, and here it comes. So we're going to go down to the shed here. Okay, so what I've done is I've thrown the wood from there up to here, and then I have to stack it like that. There's one thing I like to do during the day, and that is to go for a little jog. There's a nice little park up the road here. And another nice thing about running in the woods is that you can completely lose track of where you are and the pain of it all just by thinking. Do a lot of thinking when I run, and on occasions I've run, you know, half a mile or whatever. I mean, a long time. And, you know, you just wake up the next moment, you're still running, and you're somewhere completely different. That's kind of cool. Makes the process go a little bit more quickly. But I don't like machines, exercise machines. I've had a couple of those, and you use them for a week, and you're staring at the same old wall, doing the same old motion. I just can't stand that, so I like to get outside, and you know, you see people out here with dogs and wild turkey and deer, and so the one thing I usually don't want to do is watch the news at lunch, because usually the news in the morning like upsets me enough for the whole day. So there's like some kind of like scheme, Wall Street scheme, like a $50 billion scheme, like that's on top of the bank crap and everything else. Jesus Christ. Who's minding his store? I swear to God, you know, my checkbook's balanced and nothing will ever come of it except the, you know, might have to go live in a hobo camp here pretty soon and ride the rails. Hey, you finally get down to the studio. And you find the studio guitar. But you have to pick up and play a little bit because you're still not in the mood to paint yet, even though it's now 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so I've got this painting I was working on the other day. Or what the hell, I just was painting on it. I just kind of liked it. Some pink in here somewhere. Now, why am I putting pink here? Well, it's just part of the creative process, you know. It just feels like it needs pink there. And maybe some down here. Yeah, you can work on these things forever. And one day all the colors and all the shapes kind of come together. And you know it's finished. Wow. I think that's it. I'm pretty tired. That was a pretty good day's work. Well, thank you for tuning in and your interest in the creative process of a trained outsider artist. And maybe I'll come back tomorrow and continue to work on this painting, and you can join me. Thank you.